All right, guys, what's going on? You'll have to forgive me. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. But I think we're live. Everything looks to be going good. I need to fix this thing. What is going on here? All right, let's fix this. All right, I think we're looking good. All right, Leo, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Let me see if I get this comment up here. I just watched a new video and it's great. There's just one problem. You don't have the experience. I know this comes with time, but I just need to know that you know what you're talking about. For sure. It's interesting. It's a very interesting comment. And yeah, yeah, we'll get to that in a second here, Kevin. We'll get to that in a second. So for this video that I just released, the whole idea is it said this is how I am going to build. Let me just bring this up here just for a quick second here. Just to give a little bit of context here. I think it'll make a little bit more sense. Where am I? I'm so lost. Okay, sharing screen. So here's the video. Let's bring it up here real quick. Okay, that doesn't really say what it is. Details. Okay, so I think the point of what I wanted to make with this video is not so much of, hey, this is how you are going to be able to become the best podcaster. This is how I'm planning to do it, right? So I'm not saying that 100% this is how it's going to be, but I guess what I wanted to convey was the message was, number one, these are the steps that I'm going to be taking in order to get there. And this is what I believe, at least right now, is what I think is going to allow me to get there. And if I keep working at it every single day, I think that I'll be able to get there, right? So that's kind of where I was going with that. So what you're saying here, I know that you did your research, but your opinions matter to me, but it won't matter to others if you don't talk from experience. And I think I'll be able to get there because you're 100% right. I can't talk from experience of what it's like to build a top podcast. I've never done it before, but I was never saying that this is exactly the steps. It's like, this is just what I'm doing. And this is what I think is going to allow me to get there. And then in 2 years from now, then we can come back at this video and then I'll be able to speak from experience. So my goal is, and my hope is that people that are wanting to start a podcast, learn about the whole thing, that they'll follow me along as I gain an experience and as I grow my podcast. And then we'll establish that trust so that they can kind of they'll know me and they'll know what I'm talking about is actually true, right? Because they're seeing my growth. And then they could maybe hire me to do things or whatever the case may be, right? So that's what I'm hoping for. It's the first video, and I totally get what you're saying. But there has to be a balance between, it's okay to share the stuff that you think of right now, and then hopefully in the future that translates to learning enough to be able to teach it, right? Because I'm not teaching anybody how to do anything at this point in time. That being said, I think I'm well on the way that if I was to do a video that was talking about how to set up a video podcast, the technology of what it's like to film and edit and all that kind of stuff. I've been doing that for a long time, so I figured I could teach that. But in terms of teaching people how to be, more confident in a stream, or not a stream, in a in a podcast, how to talk to your guests, how to prepare the questions, I'm not quite there yet, but over time I think I can get there. So, Kevin, how's it going? Welcome. Episode 1. Yeah, I didn't know whether I should just rename this or just continue on, but just kind of put in episode 1. Cause what I've done is I just changed the thumbnail just a little bit. Let me see if I could bring it on up here. Yeah, I can bring it up here. So, that's the wrong button. Oh, this button here. Okay. So I changed it because all these other live streams are building $1 million business. But what I wanted to do is really put forth the point that this is focusing now on the podcast business. So that's why I put it at episode 1. And yeah, it's a continuation. And it is a new playlist. I think is what you're saying right here. So yeah, and I know it doesn't really matter so much, but I was just thinking, well, maybe this is following the podcast journey. I don't know. I don't know if it's that big of a deal. I mean, if you're super opinionated, I could certainly go back to the other format. But at least if people are wanting to know, okay, what are you doing every week to build the podcast? Then this is kind of the episode to start with that one. So I don't know. We're gonna we're gonna keep going anyways. At least in terms, keep going with the live stream. So again, I feel like I'm talking like really hoarse here, so hopefully it's not too bad. So Leo, this is a good approach though, because if people see that you did predict your success and make valid research, then people are going to trust you, even with topics you don't have experience with. I'm hoping so. I definitely hope so. So yeah. Anyways, I appreciate that. So thank you very much. So it's going to be, yeah, it's really exciting. It's really exciting here moving forward. Okay. So I prepared a little bit of a Figma presentation, I guess. So let me just fire this thing up here. Okay. And do we just full screen it like this? I think that's the way to full screen it. But where's my, I'm not here. Where am I? Where did I go? There I am. All right. Perfect. Okay. So as I said in the title of this video, this live stream, this is all about now getting a little bit more specific in terms of building $1 million business, but we want to build $1 million podcast business. And there's really two different channels about building this podcast business. Number one is the podcast itself, which is of course something that we want to grow. It's called the Unconventional Mindset. And the second aspect of it, what my fingers are doing here, the second part of it is growing Pixel as now an agency for people to come in to the studio and record their own podcasts, and for me to work with them to edit, promote, do all that stuff for their podcasting as well too. So there's two angles to this approach. So we'll take a look at those here, one after the other. Put the episode number at the end of the title because I don't want to know if it's episode 1. I want to know what it's about and then what the episode is. Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Okay, hang on. Let's do this right now then, before I forget. So I have, building $1 million podcast, and then episode number 1. I'll just say 1 instead of hashtag 1 because that brings up hashtags. Okay. All right, that's been changed. Thanks. Did I do that before? I thought I did that before. That makes the most sense. So that's a good one. Okay. There's even more full screen. Okay, that's better. All right. Move on to point number 2. Okay. So we always got to remember why it is that we're doing this, right? So I've talked a lot about this before. What is my why? And of course, what I want to do is I want to inspire people to become the best versions of themselves so that together we can make the world a better place. There's a new podcast coming out tomorrow, actually, and we'll talk a little bit about this in a minute. And one of the things that this person was saying, the guest was saying, was talking about how it's so important for a person to have agency over their own lives, to be able to bring in their own income, to be able to have control over their own life. And if we all have that control over our life and we're not always worried about how to put food on the table or whatever, we can then come together and do better on the community. And then from there, it just has the building blocks of overall just making life better for everyone. So it's really always remembering at the forefront what it is, why it is that I wake up in the morning and do what I do. So sometimes for a lot of us, we can forget, but it's important to always remember. And then we have our goals. So I've talked about other goals in the past, and there's one goal specifically that I think I'm probably going to talk about it every once in a while, but it's not going to be a mainstay, but it's super, super, super important. And that was losing 50 pounds in 100 days, because being healthy and being just really, really good with your health and fitness is just super, super important. Like everything stems from that. So that's super important. But I want to talk more about the business aspect of stuff. But being able to do well in business also has to do with actually being, for me anyways, in really good health. Like even with my voice now, it's like, and I'm feeling sick, it's like, it makes work like 10 times harder. So it's really, really important. But anyways, beyond that, we have 2 goals that I kind of wrote down here. We want to grow the podcast, Unconventional Mindset, into the #1 podcast in Canada. Whatever that means, I don't even know what metric that is, but I just want to be the best one here in Canada. And a goal that we had before is 100,000 downloads per episode. So, can we go above that? Of course we go. I'd love to be the #1 podcast in the world, right? But, #1 in Canada, not so bad of a start. And the other part of it, of course, is kind of the overall thing here is to build a business, and more specifically now a podcast business that generates $1 million in revenue each and every year. And that's with the revenue that the podcast itself can generate and the revenue that I can generate with Pixel with offering podcast services as well. So yeah, those are great. Those are goals, but how can we break those down into specific things that we can actually do? And I think a good way to be able to do that is to take a look at things on a shorter time scale and figure out what we can do from now until the end of the year and the things that we can achieve before the end of the year. And with the podcast itself, I would love to get to the point where we're getting 1,000 downloads or listens or whatever it is, whatever the metric it is, across all the platforms. That would be phenomenal. And then I'd love to monetize the YouTube channel. I could talk about getting sponsorships and all that, but I think if we have that total of how many downloads we're getting per episode, I think that will help. You know, once we get to that level, we could probably start thinking about sponsorships or what have you, but I don't want to have that as a specific kind of goal to hit of like, I want to have 5 sponsors. It's not really so much about that. But then I have monetizing the YouTube channel, which could be just another little metric again to show that we're getting that consistent viewership and we're starting to, grow, I guess, right? And then with the business as a service or the podcast as a service with Pixel Media, because we're switching away from web design to podcast services, we want to reach $3,000 in monthly revenue and also monetize the personal YouTube channel, which is this channel right here that you guys are watching this live stream on. And the way that I want things broken down is that this channel, like the video that I released this morning and each weekly video, it's all going to be talking about the ins and outs of starting a podcast, running a podcast studio, anything that has to do about podcasting that somebody who might be thinking about starting their own podcast or wanting to learn about how to do a podcast will come across my videos and come across this channel. So this is really going to focus to try to funnel people to the actual service of Pixel. And then of course with that, it could funnel people, of course, to the podcast that I'm actually doing, right? So it kind of serves kind of 2 purposes here. If I need a website, front end, you know who to ask. It's free. I appreciate that, Leo. I really do. And I definitely know who to ask. But I'll say too, I work pretty much predominantly in Webflow. So that's likely for anything else that I do in the future, Webflow is going to be the weapon of choice, more than likely. Unless we're building a completely standalone app, which is a story for another day. Okay, so with all that being said, okay, so those are some more of the short-term goals and what can we do to actually achieve those goals. So again, there's 2 different buckets. There's the podcast bucket, and then there is my personal brand, which helps promote the work that I do for the Pixel business, which offers podcast services, and then of course promotes the podcast itself. So when we talk about the podcast content, there's basically one thing that I do each and every week is release a full-length episode and have 5 shorts with that from that episode. So those would be 5 shorts to post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Still figuring out exactly how to do that. I'm testing a little bit with YouTube Shorts and seeing how that's working, which has provided some interesting data. Maybe we could take a look at this after we're done if you guys are interested in seeing that. And then 3 is, or the third one is to create 3 smaller YouTube clips, like short clips. So between like 5 and 15 minutes or whatever. They're too long for shorts, but obviously just kind of more self-contained themes within the podcast episode. So doing one of those a week. And on the personal brand side, we're talking about releasing a newsletter article. That's 1 newsletter article to go out every Sunday. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, please do. That's off my website. I think the link is below, just on the personal website. There's my little smooth call to action. From that newsletter, I create one long form YouTube video. And then from that, I want to break those down into 3 shorts, which I can use to post on my own personal, like Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, doing one of these live streams a week where we're going to dive deep into the things that we're doing on a week-to-week basis and looking at the actual stats and metrics to see how well our efforts are actually producing the results that we want to produce. So we're going to be going, each week we're going to be diving pretty deep into that. So Leo said, okay, I got a big no here. Make a new channel because YouTube does not refresh your audience. It can really hurt your success because thinks your audience is still us, but your audience is now different. So that's a really good point. So yeah, Stoyan, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So I thought a little bit about it, but to be honest, not very much, because I'm like, you know what? Yeah, because I have like what, almost 600 subscribers. But granted, you could see, I could see you too. It's granted, you could definitely argue that most people that have subscribed don't come back and watch the content more often than not, because I get between, it could be 10 views per live stream up to, a few hundred depending on the topic. So yeah, so the audience is different. Okay, it's something to think about. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Because I think the channel, this is my thought process, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I do see the channel being still so small that it's still trying to find its legs. And yes, your audience, like I think from what you were saying, Leo, it's like you said, you know me and you kind of trust me in terms of what I'm saying. So I would imagine you would still want to watch my live streams and my videos, even though it's not specifically web design, but it's more now towards podcasting. So yeah, I don't know. I totally hear what you're saying. So I'm just talking out loud here, trying to work this through. But is my channel small enough so that if I keep on a week to week basis publishing more of this hopefully higher quality content that could have the, like my goal, of course, is to create content that has the ability to go viral, or that people will kind of want to share with other people. So hopefully it can help, penetrate that YouTube algorithm, if you will, and go beyond the audience I already have. So yeah, YouTube checks what audience clicks your videos, but the people who click your videos are not people who want podcasts. Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, yeah, I mean, more often than not, yeah, you can't make that distinction for sure. You won't get those legs because it's not about subscribers, it's about what YouTube thinks. 100%, 100%. So that's a really good point there. So because it's not about subscribers really anymore, it's more about content. So just because I have subscribers here on this channel, if I start posting content that's about podcasting, you would think that over time, YouTube would understand that this has become more of a podcast type business channel and start promoting my content to people that are interested in podcasters. Because yeah, most people now are fed by the algorithm. They're not fed by a feed that they're customizing themselves based on their subscribers, right? I've been looking at a lot of content talking about that specific thing about algorithms now. Like Gary Vee talks a lot about this, but it doesn't even matter how many subscribers you are, because everyone has the same ability to go viral, right? Because it's all about the algorithm. It's not about subscribers, right? So yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what benefit there is for me of creating a new channel, or how much it would hurt me by just kind of switching what I'm doing on this channel, considering that it's not that big yet. So yeah, I don't know. It might well be, but then do I need to put the live stream on another channel too? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what makes sense. So yeah, let's see what you have to say. I'm interested in if it makes sense. I mean, I'll definitely start a new channel. So, I mean, I posted one today, but I don't think that's a big deal if I repurpose that content and post it on a new channel. But we'll see. Okay, so let's get back to my last screen here. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for the short-term goals. But yeah, these are what I'm doing. And then I think what I wanted to do is, okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about, hang on. Okay, let's get with this comment here, and then we could get on to what I was just going to say here. YouTube generates tags for your channel over time, and when you create videos for a new niche, old tags still exist. Do they never, ever get wiped away? I wonder. Yeah. That's a good point. I want to read, there's a YouTuber that talks about, he used to work at YouTube. He helps people grow channels. I can't remember his name, but he definitely has a book. I totally can't remember what it is, but I need to read it. I need to read lots of stuff. So, all right. Example, you make Minecraft videos, but you don't have an audience yet. YouTube will show it to different audiences and will find out that people who watch Minecraft videos click your videos. But is YouTube not smart enough to at least be able to read your title and tags? And I'm sure there's AI that scrapes the actual content of the video as well. That's why you can't say certain names, or YouTube will automatically flag your videos, right? So, or if they even see specific things in your content, then they'll flag your video. So aren't they smart enough to kind of know, at least on a surface level, what your video is about? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But on the surface level, you're making 100% sense. And I don't disagree with what you're saying at all. So it's more likely to serve my Minecraft or, Pokemon specific channel to people that are interested in, Minecraft or Pokemon. So it totally makes sense. I totally get that. So now YouTube shows videos to more of these people. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the point of YouTube. They're trying to really match content with the right people because that's what you want to do. So, yeah. Because I know when things hit and they resonate, when something goes viral, again, it doesn't matter who's already subscribed or what tags your video might have or your channel might have. It just pumps things out. But yeah, but I think it has to do maybe a lot with the initial people that YouTube will first showcase your video to and see whether they're going to click on it or not. Now it's interesting. That's really interesting stuff. And let's say you created a lot of videos and now it's something like 20% website development, 80% podcast. YouTube will push videos in the same proportion. 20% will be to website. Okay, sorry. So 20%, yeah, blah, blah, blah. YouTube will push videos in the same proportion. 20% will go to website development and probably the other 80% to like podcasts. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And that's the way you'll lose 20% for the right audience. Yeah, I see. But if you make different videos now, it'll be harder for YouTube to find your audience because people who watch Minecraft videos do not have interest, but YouTube will also not push your videos. Yeah, because they'll think your channel's, I don't know if they'll think your channel's dead or what have you, but those are interesting points. To people who are new to your audience, and it will take time. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'll really think about it. Cause I think you guys are making a whole lot of sense. I just worry about not losing some of my audience. Because I know there's people that kind of check into my videos every now and then that again, they're not so much interested in the business aspect of things, but are just more interested into like what it is that I'm doing. So yeah, cause I have stuff way back in the day that was all like more fitness stuff where I was doing like Muay Thai and hockey, and that stuff was being posted up, on this channel. So it's gone lots of different ways. So yeah, it's really interesting. And I don't know, maybe that has hurt me from the past. I don't know. Okay. Moving on back to this right here. So how could we achieve kind of those short-term goals? We talked about the actual content that I'm going to be producing, but I really want to make sure to focus on creating relationships and actually connecting with real people. I think that's one of the things that I'm hoping could really set myself apart from like even just the local competition here in terms of people that are running their own podcast studio. There's one, I know there's one for sure that's like downtown Halifax, right at the harbor, which has a really great spot. And there's a couple other places. But if I go out and, communicate and connect with people like in person, I think that could help me differentiate myself from other people. And if more and more people are going the old route of just publishing content online, if I do the online plus in person, maybe that's something that can help distinguish me. And I've only done 5 podcast episodes now, but the common thread in each and every single one of them was about connecting with people and building relationships to help you in business. And it's literally come up in every single episode. And it's the one thing that I've really started kind of taking to heart as like a good lesson learned so far is you have to make connections because business is all about, it's a transaction. Somebody needs something, somebody wants something, or somebody has something. No, somebody wants something, but somebody has something, right? And you just exchange services or whatever the case may be, right? It's just doing a deal. That's like the whole economy, right? So the more people you know, the larger your network, the more deals can potentially be had. So with that being said, with the podcast, still have the need to reach out to 5 to 10 people each week to come on as guests. And I think I can definitely get about like a 10% success rate. So every week I should be able to land a new guest. So far right now, we have 2 people that are in the book scheduled to come into the studio to record, and 1 person that's in the process of actually figuring out exactly what time it is that they're going to be able to come in. So that's 3 guests that are already kind of in the bank. And we obviously we just want to have it to keep coming. So like eventually I would love to go, instead of once a week, we can go 2 episodes a week and then move from there. And then on the personal brand level, it's identifying my target avatar. Again, so now my avatar is switched from people that are new to web design to people that are new to building a podcast, new to marketing their business. So, and sorry, Leo, just looking at that comment there. So finding out the target avatars, people that are new to podcasting, and people that want to start a podcast. Who are those people? Like, they want to maybe find new ways to market their business. Who are these people? Where do they hang out? And how do I reach out to them and help them do the things that they need to do in order to market their business? So I'll give you guys just a quick little overview of my 2 different buckets that I'm using to promote my content, I guess. So here's my personal website, just odum.ca. This is the whole brand. This is this content right over here, the live stream, the videos, which I guess might change into another YouTube channel here. But here's a newsletter. If you want to subscribe, it's right here. And this is where I put stuff on the podcast, and this is where I put stuff on the newsletter as well. So it's just kind of all here. And this right here is the studio. So this is where I'm going to try to figure out how we can promote this to local businesses that if they want to come in to record a podcast and do a professional podcast, recording, I'm the person that can help them out. And I just made a little bit of an update here to this website where I'll zoom in a little bit here, where I had it as just one service, but I updated a little bit to have it so that if you just want to come in and record a podcast and just get the audio and video and just do the edit yourself, because say you can't afford it because you're just starting out, which I totally understand. I just book everything out at $100 an hour. You can come in, I'll be here, I'll be engineering the whole thing, and you can just come in the studio and just book. So you can book for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's all just, you just click here. It just comes into the calendar. You pick your time, you pay the cost, whatever it is you want, and then away you go. But then this one I put here as most popular. I mean, a little bit of a thing. It's not popular at all in the sense that no one's purchased anything yet, but you come in for recording up to 3 hours. We're on site. You get the full production. Then you get the videos, the clips, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? And $750 per episode. That's it. So those are the kind of services. So hang on a second. The navbar button is begging for some top margin or less inside part. Yeah, with the button, because the button is big. Yeah, that's what she said. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do here. Let's open this up real quick. Yeah, I think the button itself was maybe a little bit too fat. But let's go into, I think the padding is probably going to be here. No, it's not. No, it is. It's going to be, where is it? The width. What do I have it? Where do I have the height set? Where do I have the height set? It's got to be in somewhere. Where do I have it? Here we go. Okay. The navigation container. Okay, let's give it a little bit more. There we go. So Kevin, that's that's exactly what was stopping you from purchasing a podcast service, is the padding. 1,000% better. That's great. All right, let's publish that. Perfect. Yeah, I think because this is even larger. Yeah, you can definitely tell more. Let's refresh that. Oh yeah, that makes it different. It's almost too much here, but maybe I could make the button smaller, but okay. All right. I think there's a couple comments here that I need to scroll up here for a second. Leo, just upload it to another channel. It will just be a disservice to upload it here. Okay. Well, yeah, I think, yeah, it makes sense. Well, how are we doing? I mean, let's go to videos. We could look at the analytics. I guess it's tough to tell now. Yeah, I mean, 19 views. There's not much to showcase yet, but really what we need the what's the reach? Yeah, here we go. I mean, this is the big thing here, right? The impressions and then the click-through rate. So we're at 2.3%, so not very high. And you guys can't even really see this because my face is in the way. Hang on a second. Yeah, so it's only 10 views per the 400 impressions. So not performing the greatest. I don't know if the thumbnail's not very good. I don't know. We'll have to see. This is playing around with it. But one of my goals too is to really understand and learn how to make videos better. And yeah, just try to make videos that are going to go beyond my audience and, you know, get captured by the algorithm to really get that product market fit. But in this case, of course, the product is the content and the market is the people that will be interested in learning whatever it is that I have to say. So learning the YouTube game is a big, huge thing that I'm going to really try to work on here this year. Remember what I said about you and your podcast experience. You could say the same about me. I know all of this because of research, but I have nothing to show for it. Even though I got this info from professionals on YouTube. And that's the thing too, is it's a really good point, is that sometimes, I mean, knowing something and being able to read something off of a book is one thing, but really being able to implement it and seeing how it actually works and if it works is something completely different. So it's almost like giving out financial advice. It's like, yeah, I listen to Warren Buffett and I could say, go ahead and just invest in index fund and blah, blah, blah. You know, you want to make sure the company has good cash flow and just do that and you'll be rich in 60 years. 99.9% of the time, that's true. If you just invest in index funds, like I do with my kids, for example, they have stuff that's in there. And by the time they're 60, they'll take it over. It'll be vesting for like 55 years and they're going to be millionaires, assuming the market doesn't go to shit. But I don't have an account that's millions of dollars yet. I've never done anything yet. So it's like, why would I trust you, right? But if Warren Buffett says it, it's like, well, yeah, it makes sense because he's already, you know, a gabillionaire. So yeah, it's really interesting. But yeah. Okay. Have you tried to get testimonials from your guests to put on the site? Sorry if we already talked about this. So that's a good point. And I think what you're asking would be to get testimonials of my guests to come on this site. Because this is a little bit, like, I guess I could, because I could give testimonials from them in terms of what it's like to work in the studio, but it's not that they've hired me for a service that Pixel provides, right? It's more of, hey, this is what it's like to be in the studio. So yeah, I don't know. It's not going to hurt anything, right? And is it going to be misleading, like potential clients? If it's like the guests of the show kind of have this thing here, they could just talk about maybe what it's like to work with me, right? Which is kind of what all the other people are going to be. So yeah, I think that makes sense. I think I should do that. I think I'm going to write that down. I don't have my pen. Let me get a notepad. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. I had another notepad. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. Okay. Yeah, so that's good. That's good. One thing, okay. So, right. So Leo, when you upload, remember to put the peak clips in the beginning, like all the other podcasts, because if you just start, it's boring. Put all the interesting questions in the beginning. I know what you're saying. Doing basically the thing that I hate. So I will say, so we got a podcast coming out tomorrow, and here's the edit for this episode. Well, let me zoom out, right? So here's the edit for everything, and I got markers for where I want to get shorts and all that. So it's just, we dive right in. So I didn't create that, intro that's dynamic or whatever. Should I do that? I'm still not sold on it. I know a lot of people do that. And I know most people do that. And I understand why people do that. But I don't know if I want to do that. And I 100% get what you're saying. It draws interest. It gets the viewer hooked. Totally get all that. It makes 100% sense to me. I just don't know if I want that to fit into my brand. Just to be honest. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I have no idea. What I'm hopeful for, to be honest, is that I can do those types of things on the shorts and into the clips and get enough brand awareness so that way people will come to the podcast. I don't know. Yeah, because you can't always say short form drives long form, but it's possible. But yeah, I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I still need to think about it. Here's one thing that I did. This is really bad. I don't know if you can notice this, which is why I'm looking at this. Let me go to the multicam here. So I changed around my office in my studio here a little bit, and I took my cameras and I put them on tripods instead of hanging kind of off the wall, off this thing. And while that's fine and everything, what I did is I set up my angles, because it's just me. So I got to have my guest in there, set up the camera angles and kind of come quick and sit down and, test all the levels and all that kind of stuff. But what I did was I set all the cameras up and then I framed them. And then I went and got some water because he asked for some water. And then I put the thing of water and I put it right out in front of the table, not thinking that it was going to be right in the shot. So it's really annoying. So if you look, this is zoomed in. So let me show you guys what the shot looks like. Here's the shot. And oh man, was I livid when I saw this, because obviously I didn't see it till afterwards, but it's right in the frame. It's in everything. So anyways, I did, once I zoom in and frame it here, it's not so bad because it's out of the way, but it's like I have my whole notes and stuff in Notion. Kevin, you like that in terms of like what to do. And it was been like a couple weeks since I actually filmed something. So I just kind of forgot to go over like my checklist. So one of them is going to be, don't put anything in front of the cameras on the table, put them like on the far side. So it was brutal, as you're saying. Like, yeah, it was bad, but it was lesson learned, and I see it now, and whatever. Thankfully, at least the camera didn't focus on this damn thing and it focused on the actual person. So I'm happy with that, because if it would just been focused on this whole thing, it'd be like, oh my God, it's like ruined. There's like nothing you can do about it. So, sorry, man, it's not branding if you make a bad start. Other podcasts just do that because people like that. You have enough time for your brand in the podcast. So the one thing I'll say to you on that one is Chris Williamson is probably one of my favorites, and his podcast doesn't do that. He just dives right in, goes straight to talking about it. He, of course, has millions of followers, and he's one of the top podcasters. So he doesn't do that, right? So yes, how long did it take for him to get to that point where he has such brand recognition and such loyalty for people to just be able to dive right in because they know what they're going to get. I totally understand that. Listen, I'm hearing you with, like I'm telling you right now, I hear what you're saying. I agree. If I do that, it's more than likely going to help at least people, probably, like it'll probably help with retention. I'm like fully aware of that. So if I am fully aware with that, why aren't I doing it? Or why am I hesitating? It's a good question. And I think I would say, number one, you're saying everybody likes that. I'll disagree because I hate that. People that I've talked to, they're split on whether they like it or not. It doesn't make anybody not watch a podcast because that happens. Sorry, the comment comes in and just like distracts me. What are my thoughts? Yeah, if people see that, it's not like they'll leave anyways, but I hear from people like they get annoyed because they feel like they're being gimmicked or they feel like they're being worked like psychologically, and they just don't like that. And they just want to go in and they just want to listen to the damn episode, right? So, do you, bro? Joe Rogan always said people told him long form interviews won't work, and he kept doing it anyways. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to. It's a really good point. You have to find out like what's true for you, not true for you. Like, sorry, that's really bad. It's like, oh, find my truth. That's bullshit. You got to find what works for you and like what speaks to you and what resonates with you the most. And if you stay true to yourself and you're just, going with what works for you, then it makes sense. And then if it ends up not working, you could definitely come back and say, I told you so. But yeah, can I open a Colin and Samir video? That's the My First Million guys. Is that correct? Yeah, we will. Let's take a look at it for a second. Okay, I agree. When My First Million started playing some clips at the start before the intro song, I didn't like it. Doesn't change how I listen, but not the experience I've come to expect from them. So like it doesn't change how you listen, but maybe the experience is not what you liked from them. So what do they do? Let's see if I can bring it up here. Hang on a second. So, they're not okay. So they're not these guys. So Colin and Samir. Okay. This is why you just don't use this. I got stupid. Yeah, they're not My First Million. Okay. People tell you that they don't like that and just want to watch the episode, but it's mostly people who like you in the first place and know what to expect. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I agree. Because I know what to expect from what the hell? The Diary of a CEO and whatever. It's like, just get on with the episode for sure. Okay, so what do these guys do? I guess, should we look at what a popular one is? I guess Jack Conte. This guy, didn't he found Patreon? Let's see.
You have said we might be witnessing the death.
Oh, hang on. I'm going over this and you guys can't see. All right.
You have said we might be witnessing the death of the follower.
There's a new discovery layer of the internet, and I think that has like massive implications.
Every time we hang out, I think it's so bizarre that you're like a tech CEO.
The smartest people in the world are often wrong.
Oh, it's now more possible than ever, but maybe it's not.
I wish more creators knew that.
And that's my honest opinion.
Ugh, that's one of the best ones I've ever heard.
I can't have my creativity pay my bills. So what do we do?
Name another business who doesn't get to reach their customers. It doesn't have to be that way. Like, it just doesn't have to.
I fucking hate that. I hate it. Just get on with the interview. Like, I don't like that. It's just a bunch of points that are like, I don't know. It makes me want to click away for me. And I mean, that's just me. Yeah, I don't know. And then They do this.
All right, Jack Conte, welcome back to the show.
Yo, thanks for having me.
Returning guest.
Returning guest.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
It has been.
Yeah.
So you have said that we might be witnessing the death of the follower.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Even right there, if they just started with like this is what I would have done in this edit.
We might be witnessing the.
Yeah.
So you have said
Right there.
that we might be witnessing the death of the follower.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. Start right there. Or maybe you can have the jack, whatever, and then yeah. Yeah, and that's just me. So again, and here you're saying too, if you just start with hello, welcome, I'm going, I don't like that either. Like the hello and welcome, hey, blah, blah, blah. And then it just takes a minute to get going. I don't like that either. And I'm still trying to play around with what's going to be the best intro for me as well too. So I will say this one thing. I know you have some other comments. There's some other comments up top here I got to get to. There is not one intro for any type of video that is going to make sense for every single person. I guess, the person that is killed like the video intro would be Mr. Beast. But his audience is also like younger kids as well. Yeah, that was interesting. There's somebody else that I wanted to take a look at real quick here. Ah, shit. Oh, man. Ah, shit. I can't remember. I wanted to bring somebody up. Oh, yeah, you're right. So this one guy does like a hybrid. I think it's Ali Abdal. Right, it's deep dive.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy.
Okay. Let's get to his channel. Okay, Entrepreneurship Masterclass. Let's see how this goes.
I've built multiple $10 million plus companies. I don't know how to do anything. I don't have any web development skills. I don't have video editing skills. I don't have design skills. I don't have any skills. I can write, all right? I can write books and I can speak, but that's it. I'm an organizing force. I'm the guy who just organizes it.
What you're about to hear is a round 2 interview between me and the incredible Daniel Priestley. Now, Daniel is actually one of the most popular episodes that we have ever had of the podcast. And the first episode that we did, which was around a year ago, still continues to get thousands and thousands of views every single day. In this episode, we talk specifically about how to go from 0 to 10K a month as an entrepreneur. And then we talk a bit about how to go from 10K to 100K a month.
So this one is not so bad, where he gives one little clip, but that looks like it's a full clip. It's not cut. And then he talks about, this is what you're going to hear in the episode. And then he gets into it. I feel like that one is a little bit better than just doing a bunch of rapid cuts and just like, hey, you all have short attention spans. Like, just trust me, stick around. So yeah, it's very fascinating. And I imagine I'll probably experiment with a whole bunch of different ways. So yeah, it's very, very interesting here, guys. Okay, hang on. Let's see some comments here. So Kevin saying to Leo, in my experience as a very unpopular podcaster, if you start putting clips up front, then you start letting that seep into the actual show because you're trying to create those moments. So it's interesting too. I heard from people that talk about Stephen Bartlett from the Diary of a CEO that he almost purposefully understands how to frame questions that are going to go for those viral clips. So whether he does that consciously or it just happens to be he's done it so many times, he just kind of knows what questions to ask. I'm not sure what the case may be, but yeah, I think some people that get really good at creating those viral clips and moments, they kind of know how to go for it, and they might just try to push for that a little bit more because obviously you want to try to get more views, right? Yeah. So Kevin, I used to be a devoted Ali follower. I got tired of his stuff about a year ago. I read his book, kind of let down. Yeah, I haven't read his book. I don't watch too much of his content. Some of his stuff is good. I find it is, maybe like you're saying, you got tired of it. And it could be, maybe, I don't know if you see this, but I guess I found with him is that once you kind of understand what he's talking about in terms of productivity and you kind of put some stuff in place that you want to do, then you've kind of learned it and then you're good to go, right? So, if like for me in a year, I'm going to be talking about podcasting over and over again. I'll probably repeat the same things over and over again. You probably get sick of listening to me talk about it because you have grown probably since you started watching his videos, and yet he's still kind of talking about the same stuff. So it's like you've kind of moved on from being able to learn about his stuff because he's kind of more in that beginner frame of mind of, hey, you're just kind of, I'm just want to teaching you about productivity and all that kind of stuff. So maybe you're finding that there's something else about his stuff that maybe you just don't like because he's gotten a little bit more corporate, maybe because he's got his big team and the content seems a little bit less personal. Maybe that's a thing too. I haven't seen enough of his content to know either way if there's been much of a difference from like Ali 5 years ago to where he is now. But some of the stuff that I've seen, I mean, he's got obviously great production value. He's got great content. He's got great stuff. And yeah, maybe now he's focused more on community stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting take. Only watch Colin Samir. I actually have never, I've seen a couple of their clips, but Colin Samir, like I didn't even know their names. I don't really know who they are, but what were they? 1.5 million followers. So it's probably, maybe somebody I should watch to just maybe pick up a few things. So you only watch them because I find it interesting. They start with something that works for them and have enough branding with yellow and stuff throughout the episode. Yeah, I mean, branding is a big thing as well, too. I like that color of yellow, but I tried using that once for branding, and I think I showed my wife, and she's like, oh, that reminds me of the No Name brand. And I don't know if you have that, but here in Canada or North America, there's No Name brand, and it's just like big yellow, and like, so a No Name brand is basically cheap. So it was a no-no for me. Okay, one thing that I want to do here, I think the family's back. I'm just going to close the door here. So we have an episode that's going live tomorrow, which I'm super happy about. So let's see if we can. Well, I guess how ready am I to go live on this thing? I think I still need to figure out the title and some of the show notes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think we can. Let me see. I think we can start the process anyways, and then if there's things I need to clean up, then we can clean it up. I guess I can show you guys some of this, the data as well too. So we have this new channel here, the Unconventional Mindset Clips, and yeah, this is interesting. Where do we go? I guess we can go to analytics. What's going on here? So this analytics here is really, really fascinating for YouTube Shorts because it basically takes videos and it gets to a certain point where it just stops and it doesn't show it to anymore. So I think it's really trying to find what you guys are talking about earlier. What is the match of who's interested in this content? And is it enough to push it out to the world? And there's nothing really that has broken free except for this one. This short here kind of started to break through more than usual, but then again, it just kind of stopped. And I don't know if the retention seems like I don't even know what the retention should be, but like 50% after almost 50% at about 50%. No, about halfway through. But I think we need to look at, it's got some likes. Yeah, I don't really know. Returning. Yeah. And then the reach. Yeah, so this here. So I know this is a really good stat. This is almost 80% viewed over swiped away, which is why I think that this video was shown the most. However, I mean, this is like Israeli hostages. Like, who's searching for that? And then YouTube decides that this would be a good video to show for somebody that searches for that. It makes no sense to me. But anyways, because it's just a feed. I guess it's just kind of scrolling, right? But that's interesting. But I think the engagement in terms of how much it was shared and how much it was liked, and there's no comments. So I think that probably stopped it from YouTube's like, okay, people don't really like it. They're watching it more than your other stuff, so we'll show it to more people, but not enough to break through. So what I need to do is analyze maybe like what's in it, why did this video get viewed the most, and maybe kind of think about where people are dropping off the most, and then just trying to reverse engineer how I could take clips from episodes to make them more retainable, more retaining. I don't know what the word is. Just better retention. Maybe that's the word. But anyways, we're getting lots of watch time hours, lots of views. But again, a new clip comes out. I have them. Let's see. So if I go to content here in shorts, I have them scheduled to come out one a day all the way up until April 1st. So I got a bunch of stuff that's still kind of scheduled, and they just get released every day. And then, they get to a certain amount of watched, and then that's it, right? But they're mostly getting some pretty good likes. Then this one doesn't come. This is like oil spill stuff, and then it doesn't get shown at all. It's interesting if you look at things that might be construed somewhat political, they're not getting shown or they're not getting pushed at all by the algorithm, which is really kind of interesting. Because this is talking about oil spills, and basically, I think he's talking about what Canada is not doing or how bad the actual cleanup is. And it's like, oh, you can't talk anything bad about anybody, so they don't show anything, right? Which is super, super crazy. And yeah, this one got the most likes, but no comments. So anyways, it's looking at this and trying to figure out what the signal is from all this noise that I'm getting, and then how do I use that information to go here, find out the good clips that I need to find, and go ahead and create them that'll be more engaging, that'll help promote more people to come to the show because more people are watching it, and then just snowball, right? It's I need to figure out how to make the snowball. I need to figure out where to place the snowball. I need to figure out how to roll it down the hill, and then once all of this knowledge is learned, then if I can consistently make clips that can go past the initial YouTube algorithm or whatever, then we'll get somewhere. So that's what we have to learn how to do. And it's the same thing with the videos that we're talking about earlier, how I need to do, how Leo, you're talking about getting a new channel. How do I figure out how to get those videos to go and push forward? So yeah, anyways. Leo, I gotta go now. All right, thanks. Like, honestly, thank you so much for coming and your comments and your discussion. I really, I really do appreciate it. And it's a super big help for me. So thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Absolutely. So have fun. Wish you much success. I can see that you believe in your craft. Keep it up. See you next time. If I don't miss the stream, I think you're going the right way. Yeah, lots of learning bumps along the way, but yeah, hopefully we're heading in the right direction. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Brent, how's it going? Welcome. How's your weekend? Oh, Brent, a question for you. Oh my God, excuse me. Sorry, if you missed the beginning, I'm like under the weather, so I'm sounding like just really bad. So sorry about that. But we were talking about this earlier, Brent, and maybe I could just show you. So, because I'd love to get your opinion on what you think about this. So just today, where can I put it? So today I released a new video on this channel, and it's this: how I plan to be better than 99% of podcasters in 2 years. And basically what I'm going to be doing is every week I'm going to be publishing a new video that is on the topic of podcasting, either like what I'm doing to increase my audience in podcasting, or it might be something of, teaching people certain aspects of how to set up their studio, whatever the case may be. It's all about podcasting. And Stoyan and Leo were talking about I should create a new YouTube channel to post this type of content because of the past audience that I have established already on this YouTube channel. So I'm not sure if that's the best course of action or not, or whether it makes a difference. And what those guys were saying, which makes perfect sense to me, is that my audience is, YouTube already knows me as maybe more of the web guy kind of thing. So maybe they'll always still want to push that to web stuff, but now it's more podcasting. So maybe it makes sense to start a new channel about podcasting. So anyways, love to hear what you think about that, what your thoughts are. So it was great. Went to Spain for the weekend. Awesome. That's awesome. Man, yeah, being in Europe is so cool because you're so close to like so many different countries, and you could just zip, zap, zoop to somewhere pretty quick, which is awesome. But here, the only place that I can zip, zap to is to like another province. My closest province is like 2.5 hours away, driving. And then of course we go down to the States, and of course Canada and America, we're not too happy with each other right now. So nobody wants to spend any money in the other person's country. And then like, that's it. That's it. Anyways, but yeah, that's good to hear that you went to Spain, and that's fun. What were you doing there? I mean, I don't need to get too specific in terms of what you're doing, but anyways, sounds like it's probably a whole lot of fun. It seems the weather's starting to get nice as well too, which is really, really cool. Yeah, I watched that video. I think it's great to funnel more people onto the podcast channel. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, that's the hope anyways, is to funnel people to the podcast and funnel people to eventually into here as well too, if they want to work with me to build their own podcast. So yeah, that's kind of the hope there. So I hope you're getting well soon. Yeah, I hope so. It's just weird. It's just my throat. I don't know if it's I'm talking too much, I'm not taking care of my throat, because I'm pretty sure I'm not sick, because no one else in the house is getting sick. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just it's weird. It's really weird. So anyways, yeah, the European mind can never comprehend how big the US and Canada actually is. Yeah, in terms of like the volume. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's a lot. Like just to drive from one to the other is like 5 days, like coast to coast from here anyways. Just vacating, take some time off work. Past weekend has been pretty busy. Oh, past weeks. Yeah, no, it's always nice. Take some time away, not working. That'll be nice. I'll let you know how that goes for me one of these days. There might be a couple days coming up in the summer that I might take off. Yeah, it's puberty again, part 2. It kind of feels that way. It's yeah, it's part 2. It's the second puberty. Oh man. Okay. So what was I going to do? Oh, right. We're going to see what we can do about posting a pod. Oh yeah. No, we were looking at our stats for our shorts and just basically saying what the hell's going on. Not understanding so much of it yet, but that we're going to need to figure it out so we can figure out how we can make our shorts break through this kind of 400, 500, 600 view count and keep going from there. We just need more engagement. So I think one of the things that I'm probably going to need to do is within the video, say something at the end. It's like, let me know in the comments what you think about this or whatever. Just asking for some type of engagement, I think will help considerably. So that's probably going to be thing to do number 1, is try to get that kind of engagement. Okay, so let's go to, but it's got 12 subscribers, which is kind of nice because I haven't been doing anything except for just auto scheduling a new short every day. So it's gotten more subscribers than the actual podcast channel itself, which is kind of pretty cool. So that's good. Although this one is not getting really any traffic, I don't think. The past 2 days, only a couple views, so not too much. So we need to up that, do more promotions there. Something I've been thinking about lately is how you could take advantage of so-called clippers. Basically pay people to post your clips of your podcast and only pay them when X amount of views are generated. So when a video goes viral, like 1 million views or so, the clippers get paid a good amount of that video. I've never heard of that. So from what you're saying is you can just pay somebody to clip your video, or sorry, not even pay, they'll just do it. And if they create something that goes viral, then we somehow share revenue. I honestly don't even care about the revenue. If somebody can take a clip from my podcast and create awareness by creating something that goes viral, I mean, hopefully in a good way that doesn't mischaracterize like my guests and make them look bad. If someone did that, I mean, take all the money. That would be fantastic. So let me know if they're like, I never heard of that. So where do you go about even letting yourself, yeah, exactly. Where do you even go to let people know that you're allowing like for remixes or whatever? So A lot of big creators have been doing that lately. Huh. It's very interesting. Yeah, never heard of that. Never heard of it. Okay. So this is the podcast. So what we want to do, we actually want to make a video, right? So this is going live tomorrow. So this is just stupid busy work here, guys, about just getting ready for this video tomorrow. So nothing too exciting. Kind of talked about all the big stuff that we wanted to talk about. Great discussions, by the way. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it because it really does help me out. Okay, so let's go with working. But yeah, Brent, that sounds pretty good. I mean, if you can have other people just do the heavy lifting for you, and then of course they get compensated because they make money from that. It's like a win-win for everybody. I love it. Podcast. Right. Okay. So that's the podcast. Thumbnail. I need the thumbnail. Can I just drag that? Playlist. It's going to go on the podcast playlist. Okay, I think timestamps and title. Okay. I don't know where they get that from as of now. Most of them do it through their own community. And they do like $1 per one view. Or for one view. Yeah, 4,000 views. Yeah, $1 per view. I'm like, wait a minute. That's expensive. I think a strategy that some people do is they'll have multiple different accounts, but that all like point towards the main account, right? So like if I was doing Joe Rogan's podcast, I'll have like 10 or whatever different TikTok accounts that are continually posting shorts and different variations of shorts and just kind of seeing which ones work or whatever. I guess it would be something like that. Because instead of you're managing those different accounts, somebody else is actually doing that. And those accounts are just there to create awareness. Yeah. Because that's exactly what I want right now is awareness. Andrew Tate started that strategy about creating multiple TikTok accounts. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, there's definitely some strategies that I certainly will not be adopting from Andrew Tate. But yeah, you can't deny his ability to create to create a following. That's for sure. Yeah, multiple accounts and reposting. So does reposting hurt you as a content creator? Or is it reposting but maybe slightly different? Because if I take the exact same piece of content, create 10 new TikToks, and post them all on different channels, that can't be good, can it? Okay. Okay. Let's just take out its. Say time for change. Creating economic inclusion within Canada's Indigenous communities. I think it's within Canadian. No, I think it's within Canada's, right? Within Canada's. Or should we just say one community? Indigenous community. Okay. I believe it's different for most platforms, but heard more bad than good things when posting the exact clip. But heard more bad than good. Okay. So mix it up a little bit, which is fair enough. It's not too hard to do to mix up clips a little bit, especially once you have everything kind of already put out in your editor or what have you, especially if you're new or a beginner. Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough to just try to get one channel to get some traction, let alone trying to worry about getting multiple channels. And especially if you don't have the real estate or the bandwidth to do that without hiring more people. So definitely trying to manage what's the best the best time and return, or the best return on investment for the amount of time spent doing things. Okay. So, right. All right. I need to finish this. I didn't quite finish this. Okay. Today we talk about how it's time for change, is in position to disrupt the Canadian economy with how we procure jobs. How it's time for change. Is in position to disrupt the Canadian economy, how we procure jobs. Recruit talent. I think it's do procurement and source funding, something like that. This app that this guy's building is really fascinating, and yeah, I think he's gonna blow up huge here in Canada. But anyways, this is a topic for tomorrow. But super excited to see what's gonna come out of this. So I love the thumbnails you've been doing, although I do think the copy part could be more clickbait. Are you talking about these, like my like the podcast thumbnails? Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Cool. But the copy part, I guess you mean, well, I don't know what you mean. I think you're meaning, so let me open this. So I think you mean like this thing where it duplicates the person. You mean you don't think that that's good? Like this thing here? Like if I take that out? Or are you talking about more of something else that's not click? Oh, the copy. Okay, I think you're talking about the copy of, not the copy of the thumbnail, but the copy of the text. Right, yeah, you know what, I haven't finished this part. I just kind of did my first draft, so let's figure out if we can make this a little bit better. So no, I like that. Let's play around with that. Let me first hang on a second though. Let me get the timestamps here. Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, this app will change. I click on something like that quicker. Yeah, copy isn't copywriting. Yeah. The time for real change. This app. Oh, sorry. I'm clicking on that thing to bring up the comment, but I'm trying to actually copy the text. Okay. So, actually, I like that. How much do I have to pay you for this one? Or is the first one free of charge? This app will change Canada forever. Yeah, that's good. I like that. But we need to. Oh, you'll send me an 1K? Yeah, no, sounds good. I'll send you. I'll email you my address to send the invoice. You might not get it for a while. Or it's what is it? 123 like North Pole, postal code like HOH. OHO or something like that for Santa Claus. Yeah. Okay. This app will change Canada forever. So how can we need to make this shorter by 17 characters. This app will change Canada forever. Like time for economic inclusion. We got to say something about Indigenous community, because this app is kind of built on the premise of trying to finally engage in a meaningful way with our Indigenous community, and there's so much economic activity that is ready to be had there for building of a lot of infrastructure and spinning up a lot of talent. And we talked in our podcast about how finally in Canada and a lot of northern places, we finally have broadband internet in a lot of these places, which could tap in a whole lot of different resources for people. So we need to keep that Indigenous community part in there. So Canada's economy, yeah. So something Canadian, like, how are we gonna say this? How we recruit talent and fill positions. Do procurement. That's really bad. Ugh. Okay. Canadian economy. Increasing economic inclusion? No, it's not going to fit. All right. Time to get some help here. I need to fit 100 characters. Economic inclusion within Canada's Indigenous community. Yeah. That doesn't fit, though. That's why I thought about that. Okay. Okay, how do I respond? That's still 108 characters. Not 4. That might just work. Economic inclusion 4. No, that's still. Does this Chat GPT know how to count? This app will change Canada forever. Economic inclusion for Canada's Indigenous community. In my YouTube dashboard, it counts. Does it count? Counts 105. Yes, it does. Yeah, that's still going to be too much. Victor, not all signs are characters. Yeah, tell that to this stupid Chat GPT thing. Okay. So I have to include the guy's name. And I like this. Unless I get rid of the word forever. I like that there though. Try signs instead. Where specifically, Victor? I'm not sure exactly where you want me to try to change things here. So I don't know what you mean, like signs instead of what? This app. Oh, I'll tell ChatGPT to use 100 signs. Oh, okay, I see. Can you do this with using only 100 signs? Oh, I don't know if that fits. That looks like it's more. Let's see. Yeah, that's more. Okay, economic inclusion. It's like so close. So close. Yeah, it's like just need to give up. Is there another economic inclusion? Let me. Economic inclusion. So I want to try to use the word that they're using, right, for their language. Yeah, I feel like that word is so powerful though, right? Like, this app will change Canada forever. Like, this app will change Canada. Yeah. I really like this word though. Okay, if we can't figure out how to make it smaller, then I think that's the word that needs to be left out. It's more on the point if it doesn't say forever. It could be, but is it not as like impactful when you're just reading that? But I guess you see the title, right? Time for real change. This app will change Canada. Or maybe do I do this? Oh man. That's still not even enough. Forever sounds clickbait. Canada will never be the same again. We will never have snow ever. And sunshine and rainbows from here on in. Okay. This app will change Canada. Economic inclusion in Canada's Indigenous community. Maybe I'll say within. Or, no, what do we have? Changing, creating. This app will change Canada. I think, okay. Oh, this app changes Canada. This app. What's better? This app changes Canada or this app will change Canada? Oh, that's a good one. This app changes Canada. But that's only if I need more characters. I feel this app will change Canada. This app changes Canada. It gives us like an extra 3 characters. This app changes Canada. Economic inclusion. I feel, and this could just be me, I just feel this hits a little bit harder. So I think we'll keep that. I guess you could always do like, I think I could do, can you do A/B testing? Maybe I can't because my channel's still not big enough. Okay, Walter Boa, founder and executive director, including aims to benefit all Canadians. Is in position to disrupt the Canadian economy with how we recruit talent and fill positions, do procurement, and source. Let's say federal and provincial funding. Provincial, I didn't spell that correctly. All right, and then we have timestamps. How do I do, can I see how I do? Hang on a second. Let's go here.
Charlene, thank you so much for.
Okay. Okay, I call it chapters. And then I need links. Right. Okay. Whoop. Okay. I'm just going to start copying this stuff here. Actually, it's time for change. Actually, it's spelled like this. Make sure to spell that correctly. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I know super boring stuff, so I will not be hurt if you change the channel. Because, yeah, like I said, we talked about most of the stuff we want to talk about today, actually all the stuff. So I really appreciate all the back and forth guys helping me out today. Super, super helpful. And just, again, all the more motivation for me to keep plugging away and to really put forth the effort and energy to make this business work and to really focus on growing this podcast as big as I can get it and to growing my business here of helping other people create and run and manage and grow their own podcasts. So really looking forward to talking about this every single week and, you know, engaging with you guys to showcase all the things that I've learned, the things that are working, the things that are not working, and just overall, just every week making sure that there's definitely some kind of lessons learned and actions that we can take. So we can all improve on a week-to-week basis. Okay, LinkedIn. And yeah, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, or smash the subscribe button and then click the like. I don't know. I don't say it, but yeah, I appreciate that. And this is the podcast is going live tomorrow morning, so I haven't done any of this stuff, so I might as well just do it now while we're on stream. So if you've never posted a podcast live before, then here you can kind of see the process. Although this is really slow, I'd probably be much faster if I had all of my stuff organized before doing this, but that's okay. Just gathering links here to basically promote the guest and their business. And copy this. And I think they have Facebook. I'm going to need these links again. Copy link address. And one last one for Twitter. Sorry, it's X now. Oh, that's such a stupid name. X. Twitter was just so good when it was called Twitter. Copy. And paste. Okay, am I missing anything? I think that's good. I don't think I need to promote myself on this. I think we'll just leave it as that. What else did I do here? Oh, I had one little thing just to promote myself. I guess we could do one little thing. www.ca. There we go. Okay. So I think that's it. Yeah, not made for kids. Go next. 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 We are going to schedule this one. Not a premiere, but it's going to go live tomorrow at 7 a.m. my time, I guess. I'm going to need this video link. And let's schedule. Okay, perfect. So that's scheduled to go. All right, looking good. Way too long in between episodes, but that's one of the big lessons that I've learned. Londo, how's it going? One of the big lessons I learned too is sometimes when people schedule a podcast, it's like even 2 months out until when they could actually get into the office to record. So, but yeah. But welcome. Rolando, I have a little bit of a bone to pick. A little bone to pick from you. I'll get to in a second. I talked about it earlier before. It's just joking. It's not like I'm actually upset at you, but it's just kind of funny. Okay, just give me a second here. Get my train of thought here organized. I want to go here. And I want to go here. And I go creating a new podcast. All right. There we go. I want to paste that in there, so at least it's in there. Okay. So Rolando. Okay. So you know how you're saying, you know, when you're having a podcast and you have a guest over, make sure to have like water on the table so that they can have water if they get thirsty. Makes perfect sense. Super great advice. Totally needed. But I talked about this earlier. Sorry if you heard this before, if you're watching this. So the guest comes in, I set in the cameras and get the framing and everything all ready to go. And then I was like, gotta get water. He was asking for water. And I was like, yes, of course, gotta get water. Gotta keep some water on the table because Rolando says it's always gotta have the water on the table. And I get there And I put the water bottle and mine here too right in front of the camera, and I didn't even notice that it was right in front there. So I almost ruined the whole show because I didn't check to see or think that I was placing the water right in front of the camera. And yeah, because you can see the placement of it here. It looks like it's fine because it's just there, but it's like right in front of each camera. So it was crazy. But thankfully, here's the shot, and it's not so bad. So it's there. It's still super annoying. And then for me, you see a little bit of it there, but I had to punch in quite a bit. So anyways, I was like, that's Rolando's fault. He told me to put water on the table. So, but no, that's 100% my fault for just not even thinking about being aware as to where I need to place the water to make sure something doesn't go in the frame, or knowing where the cameras are. I guess that's one thing too for, when it's just one person. And this interview also came about pretty fast. It was like, hey, can you do this podcast? It was like, I had like 2 days. And then, so it was kind of a little bit of a scramble, but anyways, just me setting up all the cameras or whatever. So I don't know. It's funny. First time mistake. I'll say I'll never do that again, because it's a mistake I'll never make again for sure. But it's distracting, but I don't know if people would even notice that it would be a mistake, probably, if they're watching it, but anyways, I just thought that was funny. Remember, coffee helps soften the conversation. Yeah, well, I didn't have coffee, but I offered tea. I didn't want any tea, but I think it would make sense if I have coffee that's already made, that's pre-pressed or whatever. I don't drink coffee, so I don't even know what it's called, but to just have it ready to go on the table. And along with water, maybe I can get like really short, like things, so that they're not going to block they're not going to get on the in the frame. So yeah, definitely helps for sure. Okay. So we need to publish it. Where do we need to publish this multiple different places. So, new podcast. We got to publish it on YouTube. We got to publish it on Apple and everywhere. And that's just through Buzzsprout. And then we have to go into Spotify and change the broadcast in Spotify from the audio to the video. But we can't do that until the podcast is actually live, which is annoying. I could show you guys that in a minute. And then we need to put the podcast on our website as well too, which is what we're doing now. So basically 3 places we need to do it. And we've done the YouTube. Now we'll do on our website, and then we'll do it on Buzzsprout. Let me go in here. And we got the thumbnails, drag and drop. I just have a folder here with all the details and all the podcast stuff, so I'm just kind of throwing it in here. We need to get the Buzzsprout code too. Shoot. Okay, let's go here. Let's edit these details. We're going to copy and paste this. We're going to throw this in here. Write to Tim Hortons to sponsor. I mean, that would be nice. I just have a feeling we're just probably not big enough. We'll get there. We will get there. Oh, it's got the Apple and Spotify. Oh, why do I make this required? I gotta not make this required. Walter Deagle. And let's throw on his website. Instagram. I'm gonna update this in the collection here. So I'm gonna finish these first here. LinkedIn. Twitter. Facebook. So this is a custom collection, obviously within Webflow. We could make as many, well, not as many, I think it was only up to 60, but we can make as many social posts as we kind of want. But I just have the just the standard ones here. I think, yeah, LinkedIn, I think we got them all. Yeah, so that's going to show up on the actual post itself, which is kind of cool. Oh, let me get rid of that comment there. Because it's saying that these things are required, it might not even let me save. Yeah, it won't even let me save. Oh, no, I need the title. Okay. Let's go to the title. And this one I actually want to maybe, this app will change Canada. We can do it more than 10 titles here, or 100 characters here. Canada forever. Economic inclusion, yeah. And I think if we go to here, okay, we still do the dash and then the author's name. So we'll keep that there. But what do we do for the actual URL? Yeah, the URL, we don't want to have all of this junk here. Let's get that. I probably want to even simplify it even more, but publication number 5. This is, yeah, doesn't need to be featured. Alt image, just Walter. Okay, so can we save this? Okay, we're able to save it as a draft, even though these are required. Now let's go to Buzzsprout and let's see what we can do in there. So Rolando, how was your weekend? How's work going? And how's your website coming? All right. So let's go to episodes. Right. Upload a new episode. Hang on a second. Open up another tab of this actually. Okay, not very many downloads. That's okay. We just started. But let's go. Okay, let's go here. Upload a new episode. Drag audio file. I think we have the audio. Yeah. Just here in Windows. So we're just going to drag it. And we're going to schedule this one for the future. Tuesday, we're already on the 17th. March is almost over, guys. That is crazy. Okay, scheduled for the future at approximately 7 a.m. And need a title. And I wanted to see how we did the titles here. Yeah, that's the same thing. So I think we're okay to just literally just copy and paste this. And if I go in here, and it looks like the description is the same here, except for without the timestamps. So we can go in here and we can just copy this and paste that in here. Okay, I think that's good. Do we even have to write this? I don't think I write down the episode number. Do I? If I go to edit here, yeah, no, I don't put anything, but full explicit. No, there was no swearing in this one. Okay, so we have to wait for that to upload, I would imagine. So you're tired. I decided to paint the office, taking advantage of the fact that today is a holiday, and thus have 3 days to paint, maybe. And I'm very tired. Yeah, that's a long 3 days of painting. Yeah, that's tired. But is it just the office? How big is your office? How many different coats of paint did you have to put in there? Okay. So now if we say save episode details, yeah, it's available in directories within 24 hours. So like it takes time for this to funnel through and then get into Apple and all that kind of stuff, which is annoying, which means that I can't get the codes that I need to be able to load them up into here, like this Buzzsprout code and the URL. And I get those codes from basically from here. If I go embed this one episode, so I need to take all of this, and one of these is the code. I think this is the code, and then this is the URL that I need to take, and then I put into here. And that's just so I could take that code and actually embed that into the website. So if I go into here, and I go to listen to this episode, and I go to listen, that embeds this code in here. And then of course I need the numbers to also to be able to share these things. So yeah, so we have to wait. I wish there was a way that I could do this manually. I wonder if I could use AI to automate this stuff. I don't know. Good night, guy. Yeah, you're I think you're really far ahead, eh, Victor? So yes, good night. Get some rest, get some sleep. Super important. And thanks for your help. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. It's small, but since I have what was my father's office, my wife's office, and mine here, it took a lot of decluttering. Oh, geez, yeah. Decluttering's the worst. That's where you just haul in the really big garbage bin and just start chucking. Just start throwing things in. Okay, so yeah, no embed code here. And there's nothing we could do. We just have to wait for this to process. I can't click on it or whatever. So I can't finish this. So we're just going to have to wait. Not much we can do. Okay, so I mean, that's basically it, eh? Is there anything else that we need to do to go live? I don't think so. I think I have it. Do I have it in my knowledge base? Yeah, no, I think we're good. I think that's all we need. Okay. Rolando, while you're here, is there anything I could do before we sign off here to help you out with any website stuff? Is there anything you want me to take a look at? Just do let me know. I'll just hang out here for another minute or so, or you just let me know, no or yes or whatever, either way. And one thing that we talked about earlier today as well too, which I'd love to have your feedback and your opinion on this, would be for my new YouTube. So let me just go back to my account here. I have this new video that I posted up, which is about, you know, how I plan to be better than 99% of podcasters in 2 years. And the videos that I'm going to be releasing on this channel right here that I'm doing this live stream on are going to be they're going to be pretty much all about podcasting. And if that's the case, some guys in the comments were recommending that, or in the chat, were recommending that I start a new channel so that way YouTube can pick up the fact that all my videos are going to be more podcast related, so I could faster be able to identify and send it to the right audience so that my two audiences don't get kind of mixed up. So I'm wondering if you think that doing that is necessary or is a good idea or doesn't really need to be done or what have you. Because I'm not sure what the right way what the right course of action is. Did you make the hero image with CSS or just an image? Which hero image are you talking about? Can you give me can you let me know which one you're talking about? Because what was I looking at? Are you talking about like this hero image on here? Or are you talking about probably not this hero image? Because this is just a video. So no, today I'm working quietly. Tomorrow will be hard. I have exams this week. Oh, okay. Okay, so working quietly. Okay. Yeah, you in continuing education. Yeah, I mean, getting education is never a bad thing. So I think the podcast thing should go on the podcast channel so you can generate engagement. So I do have a separate podcast channel for the podcast, and I have another channel for the podcast clips. But for my personal brand, I want to have a personal brand that's just me, that just talks about podcasting, right? So yeah, so this one with the colored background. So this is actually an image straight up. So I think that's one of the answers you had, eh? Yeah, so I could have made it with CSS, but it was just easier for me to make it in, I think I made it in here. I just, I don't need these guys anymore. I don't know where it was, but I think I definitely made it in here. So, and it was just, making the background image and just making some shapes or whatever and just doing it that way. So you could get some like SVGs and whatever to make it all in CSS, but for me, it took 10 minutes or whatever to, I had to carve myself out and all that kind of stuff for masking. And then I just put it in there. So it's just easier to just create an image and then just put the image on here. So CSS would be really cool, but I don't think it would have been worth the amount of effort. So yeah, cool. All right. Well, that's it for me for today. I gotta rest up. Gotta heal this throat of mine so I can keep my. This is like my moneymaker right now since I'm gonna be doing podcasting and stuff. I gotta make sure I keep it healthy and figure out how to not get it all sick and swollen and whatever all the time. So it's really kind of frustrating. But yeah, I gotta figure that out. Okay. So everyone, Rolando, Victor, Brent. Oh my God, I gotta keep scrolling up. Kevin, Leo, and Stoyan. Is that everyone? I think that was everyone that showed up today. Thank you so much for the conversation and the feedback and just the engagement back and forth and the likes as well too. Really appreciate that. So that's it for me. So yeah, so moving forward, we're going to be doing everything and anything to make sure that our podcast gets up to #1, that we keep working to grow, and we grow our business as well to generate some revenue by getting some people right here into the studio in the back and recording some podcasts for them so we can generate some money, because I need to start making some money here. It's been so long since I haven't really been making any money, just kind of focusing on what to do. So we need to start making some money, and we'll be back here again on Monday to talk about that and to see how everything is going. All right, guys, have a good one. Rolando, take care. Rest up. Enough with the painting, and good luck with your exams next week. Hope everything goes well. Not next week, this week, I guess. So yeah. All right, guys, take care. As always, we'll see you on Monday.